Everyone knows that America is the birthplace of skyscrapers. What do the One World Trade Center, the Empire State Building, and the Golden Gate Bridge have in common? All were built in the United States during the first half of the 20th century, and all were the largest structures of their type in the world for decades. However, the nation no longer constructs the tallest and most prominent skyscrapers. So, what exactly happened? Why has America allowed other parts of the world to take the lead in skyscraper development? For much of history, America has worn the crown for the world's tallest buildings. Its two most iconic cities, Chicago and New York, competed fiercely to construct the highest buildings on Earth. In 1885, the 10-story home insurance building was built in Chicago with a height of nearly 138 feet. It became the first steel-framed skyscraper in the world. Later, 2 additional floors were added, increasing the height to 180 feet. This building symbolized an architectural revolution, inspiring other cities to construct even taller structures. In 1909, skyscraper heights reached 700 feet with the construction of the Metropolitan Life Insurance Company Tower, often known as the MetLife Tower in New York. However, more than any other building, the Woolworth Building in Lower Manhattan exemplified America's dominance in high-rise construction. The 792-foot skyscraper was the tallest building in the world from 1913 until 1930, nearly 2 decades. This competition reached new heights in 1931 when the 102-story, 1,250-foot tall Empire State Building opened in New York. It held the title of the tallest structure in the world for almost 40 years until 1970, when the World Trade Center buildings were constructed, with the 2 towers standing at 1,368 and 1,362 feet tall. Although the 9/11 terrorist attacks in 2001 destroyed the World Trade Center buildings, the 108-story Sears Tower in Chicago, completed in 1974, had already surpassed them in height. From 1974 to 1997, the Sears Tower was considered the tallest building in the world. However, in 1998, Cesar Pellis Petronas Towers in Malaysia, with their distinctive twin structures, claimed the title of the world's tallest skyscraper from the United States. Since then, as the financial power of countries like China and the United Arab Emirates grew, their ambitions to construct taller and more iconic buildings intensified. In 2004, Taiwan's Taipei 101, standing at 1,670 feet, surpassed the height of the Petronas Towers. Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou, the largest cities in China, now boast more skyscrapers than any other country. As of 2020, the Shanghai Tower in Pudong holds the title of the tallest building in China and the second tallest in the world. With 128 stories, 106 elevators, and interior sky gardens, the Shanghai Tower reaches a height of 2,073 feet. The Middle East is another region that has challenged America's skyscraper dominance. All previous height records were shattered by the construction of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, which stands at 2,717 feet. Although the Burj Khalifa still holds the record, skyscraper enthusiasts are eagerly anticipating the completion of a new contender in the region. Once finished, Saudi Arabia's Jeddah Tower will reach an astonishing height of 3,281 feet, nearly 11 times taller than the Statue of Liberty. This will make it approximately 656 feet taller than any other structure on Earth. America remained at the top of the list for over 110 years until shortly before the year 2000. Since then, it's become difficult for the country to even come close to the record-breaking nations. The world's tallest skyscraper is currently 1/3 taller than the tallest building in the United States. Of the 50 tallest buildings now under construction around the globe, 43 are in China, and just 1 is in the US. This doesn't necessarily signal America's decline. The country continues to produce a large number of creative minds and skilled workers, driving innovation in skyscraper design. Instead, it likely relates to rising construction costs, complicated building regulations, and shifting corporate priorities. Cost is the main factor. New York is the most expensive place in the world to build. A 2018 International Building Market survey by Turner and Townsend found the average cost per square foot in New York to be $362. It can be challenging for developers of tall buildings in the U.S. to find private investors willing to fund these high costs. Deals are often complicated by market unpredictability, particularly with long-term construction projects. One reason might come as a surprise. Just a year after the 538-foot Equitable building at 120 Broadway was completed in 1916, New York began imposing restrictions on the height of tall buildings. According to the New York Historical Society, the Equitable building cast a 7-acre shadow over the streets below, prompting complaints from residents who said it felt like living at the bottom of a cave. In response, the city introduced zoning laws that led to the creation of buildings like the Empire State Building, with setbacks and step-back walls designed to let sunlight reach the streets. Additionally, the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, limits building heights to 2,000 feet in most U.S. cities, with restrictions of 1,000 feet in areas closer to airports. You'll find much taller towers in countries with fewer height restrictions than in the U.S. The tallest structure in America were originally built for office use. However, with the rise of mixed-use buildings, combining shopping centers, restaurants, luxury apartments, and office space, this trend has started to shift. While not necessarily super tall, residential towers have proven to have higher market value. For example, the 1,004-foot 157 in New York contains 92 apartments as well as a hotel. In 2014, its duplex apartment sold for $100.5 million. Meanwhile, 432 Park Avenue, the tallest residential building in the world and the second tallest in New York, opened in 2016 and stands at 1,394 feet. The space it occupies has sold for over $2 billion. Technological and engineering advancements have allowed other countries to surpass the U.S. in skyscraper construction. Skyline design has reached new heights, literally, thanks to advancements in building materials, construction methods, and environmental sustainability. Tourism is another factor driving the construction of taller buildings in other countries. Dubai's towering skyscrapers are designed to attract visitors and enhance the city's global appeal. In contrast, tourism is not the primary revenue source for the U.S. Instead, the country focuses on producing goods and services that drive economic growth. Currently, no one expects New York or any other American city to reclaim the title of the world's tallest building in the near future. However, there is something exciting on the horizon, as new plans for a significant project have been revealed. The proposal location for the nation's tallest building may surprise you. Standing at 1,907 feet, this building will be one of 4 towers at Oklahoma City's The Boardwalk at Bricktown project. Its symbolic height commemorates the year Oklahoma became the 46th state to join the United States. At this height, the tower would become the 5th tallest building in the world. Many more projects are also in the works. While the U.S. may no longer lead in the race for the tallest structures, the nation has made significant advances in modern architecture and urban development. America is focused on smart development, while the rest of the world seems focused solely on skyline height. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and visit our channel for more amazing content.